Hello everybody. Evening.
Hello.
Hello. Let me just go back to my comments in the chat on the trusty old laptop.
Trusty old laptop.
How are you? Should we cheers?
Hi.
Should we cheers?
Shall we cheers?
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
What we're cheersing
It's a
to?
Sunday evening and upcoming Christmas and friends and chat beans.
Chat beans.
Yeah.
Okay. That is so random.
I know, it's very random. So we have already in the house, we have 7 people, but we have John, we have 2 cents worth, so we have Nigel. Hello Nigel, great live Friday night. Bex, see about 5 minutes of it, didn't you, before you fell asleep?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll stay awake. I can stay awake for probably about an hour.
What time did you go live?
You went live at 10,
10.
and you probably
What
asleep.
time is this? Friday?
Friday, you'll probably sleep by about 5 past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little bit realistic.
We have
isn't it?
Sam in the house. Hello, Sam. We have Cutty. We have Stephen. Oh, we've got some good, lovely people already. Chris. We have Chris.
You're so enthusiastic.
We have Luke. I know. I've had a good day, haven't I? So, I know. We know what I'm like. Down in the dumps if I'm not doing very well at work, and on top of the world when I am.
Wicked.
Journey of a salesman, eh?
Journey of a salesman.
Yeah, so hello everyone. We have Taffy in the house. Hello Taffy. We have Stuart. Stuart, thanks for joining us. We have a good bunch.
Already?
I know.
I know.
Fancy giving up their Sunday evening
To watch us.
to watch these faces right
I
here.
know. I wouldn't.
How's your day been? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah. You have the scent one. Hello.
Well, our daughter wanted a girly day today.
Right.
So, well, it's a little bit boring really. I needed to go and get her some more leggings for school
Yeah, that's boring.
because they still can't wear uniforms for some odd reason. They have to wear leggings, don't know. Probably, I think it's something to do with getting changed for PE and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
can just
that.
wear the leggings. Yeah.
So I went to a reputable shop and they didn't have any. Now this reputable shop is about 20-25 minutes away. So I got in the car, went over there in the rain, which I hate, and they didn't have any.
So that's a waste of time.
No, because
Oh.
then she conned me into getting the dogs some Christmas presents.
Okay.
So I had to get 2 stockings,
Yep.
2 toys,
Yep.
and 2 Christmas dinners. Because they both had to have the same,
Of course.
clearly.
Yeah.
And
So the dogs have got Christmas presents. They got Christmas stocking. They got their Christmas dinner.
oh, and she said that because they'll sniff them through the bag,
Yeah.
and we're not going to give it to them,
Yeah.
that it's not fair. So they needed 2 more treats on top of that they could have now.
Right.
So it went from just going out to get some leggings to getting the whole Pets at Home Christmas range.
Should we just quickly say, you texted me, didn't you, earlier while I was at work,
Yeah.
and asked me what we've created. We've spoken about this before.
Oh yeah, she is quite middle class,
That
isn't she?
I'm not a middle class man at all. I am down in the dregs of society, aren't I?
You're from
I've dragged myself up a little bit. You dragged me up. You were like this, pulling me up a little bit.
a very rough area of London, yeah.
From the drags of society. However, our child seems to be,
Taking after more of my family.
yeah, so
Which
basically stuck up.
isn't a bad thing. My family are wicked. But she said to me today,
Bex must really love Christmas. She does. Do love Christmas.
she said to me today, so there's a McDonald's. Obviously loads of other food chains are available. McDonald's,
Not sponsored.
then a little mini roundabout, then a Costa.
Yeah.
So any 8-year-old would go, oh, can I have a Happy Meal? No.
Hi, Brian.
Not
Right,
our
now,
child, though. She goes to me, do you know what she says to me?
What
In
does she
front of
say?
the car?
Mhm.
Oh, Mummy, after shopping, can we go to Costa and I can have a brie, cranberry and bacon panini?
Now, it's the sushi thing that bothers me from previous.
She takes sushi for her packed lunch.
Mummy, can I have sushi? Now, if I'd said that to my mum and dad at 8 years old, they would have gone, sushi? What's that? Clout.
She wants sushi in her packed lunch, so she goes to school with sushi in her lunchbox, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wanted a cranberry, brie and bacon panini today. And she said, Mummy, you can have a caramel cortado if you want.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Okay.
So what have we bought up, babe? I literally, I'd said to my mum and dad, Mum, Dad, can I have sushi for lunch? Or sushi? What's that? Whack.
Or she shouted the other day, oh, Mummy, is my Kenzo jumper washed? Oh.
There we go. So one thing I'm just going to quickly do, should I put my phone onto airplane mode? Forgot.
Why are you that popular?
No, actually it won't, but yeah. So what is...
Hilarious. Oh, I've got your jumper on today.
Yeah.
I actually make an effort to come live for the whole world to see. I just...
Stuck on one of my jumpers. Yeah.
Jumpers hit different when they're not yours.
Pie and mash around my area. Sam, I love pie and mash. And I love old school pie and mash shops. Really
Phoebe
do.
loves pie and mash and gravy.
My dad's from the East End, so like, oh, I just love pie and mash. Love it, love it, love it. Two pies, one mash, or two pies, two mash. That's really greedy.
Two pies, two mash?
Yeah, you pick one or two of everything. I would probably go for, just so I can have a cake or something afterwards, I'd go two mash, which is like scoops of mash, yeah? So it's not like a plate of mash. I'll go two mash, one pie, liquor. That's my choice.
I'm not a big fan of liquor. Anybody in the chat wondering what liquor is, it's not alcohol. It's like a, is it like a parsley sauce?
Parsley sauce, yeah.
Parsley sauce. I'm all about the gravy life.
Yeah, you'd pick gravy.
Yeah, I would pick gravy.
I'd go liquor, so...
But I am quite fussy. You Southerners love your pies like doused in gravy so the pastry goes soggy.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that soggy life. Has to be pie, scoop of mash, give me a jug of gravy so I can pour it on myself.
Yeah.
I can't be having all this pie sat there for ages.
We have Joe now. Thanks for joining, Joe. It's very nice of you. We have Mason and crew. That's Ian. Ian's just starting his new channel in January.
Ian's starting his new channel.
It's because I had Italy in my head as well. Ian lives in Italy, and he's going to be taking us to some lovely locations. He's just started his Instagram page, so go and check him out on there.
Locations.
Yeah, in Italy, he goes to Venice and all different places. So, nice. Yeah, I know. And he's starting his. He's got a YouTube channel already, and he's going to be rebranding it to a fragrance channel.
Oh, this is the golf man you're talking about.
Yes. So good luck.
I do pay attention sometimes.
So go and give Ian a follow. Right, so things to mention this week in the fragrance community.
Things to mention is that wire coming down from attic.
Yeah, that's not very good, is it? We need to hide that. I'll tell you what we can do. Yeah. This is what we're meant to be.
Let's
be
just...
like that. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that better? Yeah.
That's wicked. Look, you can see my Christmas tree just in the background.
I'm very proud of that. So, tiny picked cake. Shocking.
I know, really.
Yep. So things in the fragrance community this week.
Well, I have been a little bit distant.
You've been missing in action.
I have been a bit MIA. A couple of people know why. Just kind of distanced myself a little bit.
Hi Craig. Hi Carolyn. Carolyn, thanks for joining us. Everyone knows Carolyn, queen of niche fragrances.
Look, you keep rocking the tape, but it's like we're having an earthquake.
Well, I'm sorry. All right, I've got to touch the keyboard.
Keyboard? Well, you don't have a keyboard. It's a laptop.
Yeah, where's a keyboard on the laptop?
So yeah, it's been a bit of a, can I swear, shitty start of the week.
Yeah. Why?
You know why?
Why? Oh yeah, I know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that bit.
Wow.
I know. Just to make it
shit husband, didn't he? Just don't listen.
I didn't listen. I just wondered what was going on. It's been very different at the end of the week. It's sort of not been forgotten about, but we've tried to keep ourselves occupied. I've been working on weekend.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen you much.
No.
Tuesday, I haven't seen you at all this week. Tuesday, which would have been
by choice, probably by choice.
You were out, and I got to do some videos.
Yeah.
So I would like to tell people. I'll go back to my things from FragCon, but I'd like to tell people what I got in this week or last week, since we've been live last. I've only got one thing, and I did a review.
Well, that's not going to take that long, is it?
No, one thing. So usually we've got a few things to get in. This close to Christmas, we've got to focus on other things, obviously. Family to make happy, a wife to make happy.
Actually, you didn't actually tell me about this purchase.
No, I didn't.
I walked over to your desk and I was like, what have you got there?
Yeah, I know. I couldn't resist. I've seen it's not that expensive. I've seen a review from Matt at Question and Scent, so shout out to Matt. And that is Hudson's 003. Now, this is getting a bit of hype for the brand, and rightly so, in the UK anyway. And
I must like to point out, it's very clear.
yeah, it's a very clear. Now, I know you've
Very
smelled.
clear.
I know you've smelled it, but have you got anything on your hand right now?
Fake tan?
Apart from fake tan.
No, I don't think so.
Ignorance is
I'm
bliss.
smelling
That's
it,
me all over, Brian. 100%.
I have odour of dog biscuits.
Okay.
Fake tan's a little bit dog biscuity.
Okay. Well, let's get rid of dog biscuits now and give you a bit of this.
Okay.
All right. My review, if you've not seen it, I urge you to go and see it till the end, because I put a little bit of a different ending to my videos, which I made myself amused at, really. So
doesn't take much.
If you've not seen it, go and watch my Hudson 00. It's my latest video. Go and see it. It was there's a different ending, so watch it through to the end. Or if you don't like watching videos all the way through and you get bored, just skip it to the end. 003. Let's give you a little spray.
Okay.
See if the height that I gave it.
Squirt me.
I'm going to squirt you right on your hand. Give it a second.
We'll give it a second.
Give it a second. Just open my Hudson's Mia in the chat. Hello, Mia. The fragrance that ended my perfume journey. It is Cutty. And I'm going to be sending Cutty some stuff. And Cutty, guess what? I've decanted a bit for you so you can try it. Yeah. And 001.
What would you like me to say about it?
Right. What would you say about it? What, you give me your thoughts. I'd like to just hear what you think. You can be honest.
Are you sure?
I'm really taken with this, and it's just something. I'll give you my thoughts just quickly, because I don't think you watch. No, you don't watch my videos. Let's be clear.
No, I never watch your videos.
No, you never watch my videos. Yeah, I do. I think it's clean, fresh. It's long lasting. It's different to other fragrances out there. It's different to anything else in my collection. It's fresh, but it's got some longevity. It's got a nice base. It's smooth. It's just me. I just think it's lovely. It's got a little bit of something different, so you wouldn't find that in a fragrance in Boots, and that's because of the violet. The violet gives it something. Yeah, the violet gives it something very different.
Oh, yeah, I can smell a little bit like Parma violets.
With some grapefruit in the top.
And some lime.
It's got bergamot, so similar.
Okay.
But it's quite citrusy in the top, but not too citrusy. But it's got this like creamy depth to it.
Do you know what? If I'm being honest,
Yeah,
what's your boy Hudson's that you've got?
001.
Why has it gone from 1 to 3?
Because he's got 2. I've got a sample of 2. I haven't got the full bottle.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The second one is very citrusy, very light. This is goes in a different direction.
Do you know what? 001 that you've got.
Yes.
How much did you pay for it? How much did they go?
This bottle, I got this for £29.99 with £10 off. Isn't it? They go for £40, £39.99.
Is that
full price?
right? Okay.
But there was a Black Friday sale on about £29.99.
Okay. So 001, I would pay a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I think it's worth a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't think
we're talking up to sort of 100 mil. I'd happily pay late 80, something like that, along the lines of the Dior Intense.
Yeah.
Money.
Number 3. It's nice, but I'm a little bit disappointed with it. Only because, do you know what it reminds me of? I think everybody in the chat now is like, oh, when I say, do you know what it reminds me of?
Oh.
It's a little bit linksy.
Oh no.
No, it's nice, don't get me wrong.
No.
It's just, I wouldn't openly hand over more money than the $39.99.
But this has ended my fragrance journey. This is like the thing I want to wear every single day.
Oh.
The reason I did that as well was because 001 is such a good fragrance, but I wouldn't want to wear it all the time, every day of the year, because it's a bit heavy in terms of, you could wear it for a date night, you could wear it out in the cold, but wearing it in the high heat in summer or wearing it all the time,
a bit too sticky.
It'll be a bit much all the time. Whereas that is very light and just easy to wear, very clean, out of the shower, to the gym, to summer holidays. But
there's nicer freshies than I would say this one.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's just put that one to the side. He said, "Be
in the
honest."
house. I am.
You need to learn when you say, you know, you need to give me the look of.
What, like a? I bet that'd be cheating.
Yeah, just be
No,
honest.
I don't mind you being honest.
Yeah, it's not something that I would willingly hand over more money for.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about your merch, but.
Oh no. What's that one on merch? That they're impressed that I've got it? Is that it? Is that the gist of it?
I wouldn't go that far. Luke is obviously still waiting.
Oh yeah, look. Oh, there we go. I'm publicly protesting Tony's videos until I get a Fragdicted t-shirt.
Maybe Santa should bring him one.
Maybe Santa should bring him one.
Mm-hmm.
What about he said he's already just unsubscribing if I get videos. It's not on merch.
Mia said that I should watch her Hudson video.
She doesn't even watch my Mia.
Oh look, that's a winky face. I think she's probably on the same bandwagon as me.
Probably.
That's what I get from that winky face.
What is everyone? Let's interact. What's everyone drinking tonight? What's your drink of the night?
Well,
and let's be a bit more fragrance related. What's your scent of the night or scent of the day? What have you got on the go right now?
Mine is Oda Skinny Ton.
Okay.
Sundays are for marinating for the week.
Great. Right, drinks of the night for us are obviously Corona.
How do you like your Corona though?
I like mine just really, really, really cold.
Weird. Do you have anything in it?
I like lime and I like lemon in the top, but I'm quite happy to take it without. Not that fast. If it means it taking longer and it's more effort, I can't bother.
Okay.
But it's got to be cold.
We need to bring back Barry's beefs. We haven't done that for a good couple of weeks.
Well,
you have got Barry's beef.
Okay, we'll get back to the Barry's beef. We've still got just over 10 minutes until our mystery guest. Oh, Chris, thank you very much. That's really, really nice. I could buy, Chris, with that, mate, I could buy 15 Belgian buns.
15?
That will keep me going for 15 weeks.
What? 15 days?
No, but I don't get one a day. I can only get one on a Friday.
Oh,
so it's 15 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's 15 weeks, less what YouTube take away. Thank you, Chris. That's really nice of you. What else? Right, so let's see what people have got on the go, because we did ask the questions. So
Extra dry cider Kit Kat, okay.
And Chanel Allure EDT.
Channel, vodka and coffee and Lillian.
Lillian.
What's Lillian?
I don't know, what brand is that, John? Beer, cake, money for Tony. Thank you, Chris. I'm wearing Herod, very nice choice. Love Herod. And Royal Satisfaction from Sweden, says Nigel. I really, really want to try the new one, Spice Surprise, I think it's called. Sounds amazing. There we go. Belgian buns only come out once a week. They do, indeed. You got to try Sol Mexican Lager. I love Sol, Brandon. I could buy a crate of Sol for the same sort of price as Corona, and they are. I don't know if I prefer Sol or not, but they're quite similar. They're a South American beer. If you want a good South American lager, one of my favourites, which is a little bit more expensive, but it's good stuff, is Brahma. Brazilian, gorgeous stuff. So Brahma, I would say, is my favourite. I could buy 100 Fragdicted t-shirts for $15.
Yeah, they're worth that.
Well, you could go into business, because what you could do is you could buy 15 for $15, 100 for 15, and if you sold them for $5 each, I'm not going to do the math, I'm not going to do the quick math, but you would make a lot of money.
Oh dear Lord.
What else have we got? I agree with Brandon. Oh, we're going back. Stella.
Ooh,
and Y1920 Cannabis. Very nice, Sam. I agree with Brandon. Belfast Blonde Beer. Very nice, Stuart. Oh, it's okay. I know the one, John. Sorry about that. I do know it, and I have a sample of it, which Sam kindly sent me, which I need to get on and review, Sam. I will be doing that shortly. Hendon by Rosa Salas. Very nice. The girlfriend insisted. Did she now?
Hey!
Love Brahma, says Nigel. Brahma is unbelievable stuff. Love it. Hello, Nick. Thanks for joining. So we have Nick in the house as well. Right, so we've got about 10 more minutes. Tony has his tatties out.
Well, Chris has kindly donated money, so technically you need to get your titties out. That is the deal.
Is that the rule, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not doing that. I don't. They won't. They'll all unsubscribe in one go. It'll just be zero in the chat. What, you think we'll get more subscribers?
Might have to go a bit widescreen.
Oh dear.
So, what's your berry beef this week?
Right, 1 second. Once my beer's finished, I've got some melting ice there.
Oh, so okay. So, I said, have we got any ice? Yeah, we got loads. I had the scummy, like,
little bits left in
fresh bits, and look, that's where all your ice is.
No, that's because I needed a lump so it lasted longer in the glass.
You could have shared that though.
So I got a lump, and we have got some gin bean honey. That is ready for the chat.
Brandon 6 girls 20. Yeah!
Always thought that.
Titties
Yeah,
out.
just in time for the tips, says Smurfy. Thanks for joining, Claire. Right.
She always comes up when there's a little bit of filth.
Yeah, I think she lurks until the filth happens, and then she's like, bam, right.
She's like, Tony's tits, yes!
Right, just to mention actually, before my Barry's beef, sorry I keep moving on.
You're just waffling,
No.
just talking.
Go on and see Claire's post on Instagram. There are a load of lovely people, beans, doing a premiere tomorrow night on 7 virtues. Fragrances you'd pick for those virtues. And they go, I'm not sure if someone could put in time, what time the first video is, but there's about 2 hours, I believe, of videos all in a row, premieres. Shut up.
Look, Luke says he's going to flag this video as inappropriate if you get naked.
I'll flag myself. I'll flag my own video as inappropriate.
I think he's actually lying. I think he'd be the first one to like throw his dollars at you.
He could put a $10 in the top of my pants, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Claire's a filth magnet, apparently.
She is. We all know this.
Yeah, we know.
So, what is your Barry's beef for the week?
You said you had one for me, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I rang you today.
Oh, DPD?
Other delivery companies are just equally as annoying.
Absolute scumbags.
Oh, yeah. So what is it?
I'm not telling you what it is. That's why you bought it up.
It's my new phone.
You're such a twat.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. So you ordered this phone.
How do you know I've ordered a phone?
Because I get a text from EE. Unless you've got me a Wi-Fi box, what else are you going to get me from EE?
I could get you some new
what?
AirPods.
Well, I've got some AirPods.
I could get one of the boys some AirPods.
They've had AirPods last year.
They could have a new Apple Watch.
I had an Apple Watch last year.
You could have a new Apple Watch.
Don't use it. Told you. I find them irritating.
Okay.
It's just my new phone, isn't it? It's an iPhone X.
I'm not telling you what it is.
It's an iPhone.
Hello, Tara. Thanks for joining.
So anyway.
Got it delivered to work.
Yeah, so I get a text yesterday from EE with a code. Hey babe, if you get a text from EE, can you just like let me know the code? Oh, okay, cool. Is this my new phone? Silence. Then I get a text from EE saying your parcel will be delivered today between 11:38 and 12:38, which is very specific. Then I get a text at 12:40 to say, sorry, couldn't deliver your parcel.
Sorry, we missed you. Now, I work in a huge, great big, very, very well lit showroom with cars on the road, cars parked everywhere, clearly open. Literally, we were busy today, so we had a few customers around. The guy, I haven't seen what he'd done, but I know what he's done because he's done it before. He's pulled up, he's had a look, thought, I can't be bothered to deliver it there, someone can deliver it tomorrow, and driven off. Hasn't even attempted to walk into the building.
Now, I'd just like to say, delivery drivers, right?
Kevin, he's nice.
We love Kevin.
Yeah.
Not tarnishing all delivery drivers with the same brush, but I'm just saying that if we did that, if we didn't actually do the job that we're paid to do, we'd get told off. So I don't get how delivery drivers are getting away with it, especially at Christmas. Unless he's nicked it for himself, he's just going to sell it on eBay.
Yeah. Well, then you won't be getting what you think you're getting, will you? So.
What phone?
Right. So anyway, that's my beef. Have you got a beef for the week?
My beef for the week?
Yep. Oh, we have the guest in the background. We can't give away who the guest is. Having a little wave. We can see you in the green room. Ready to come on.
I don't actually have a beef for the week. No, I don't.
Okay, any bonus?
I've not got any bonus. After the end of last week, beginning of this week, I think my boner is just feeling privileged that we've got each other, and we should just enjoy life. I think we spend way too much time moaning, dwelling on the negative stuff, when actually, in reality, life is very, very short. And I think we should just live in the moment and just not give two shits. Just enjoy life. Enjoy ourselves, yeah. Yeah, because you never know when that's just going to get taken away. Yeah, so... And that's nice. And that obviously proved last week that it can just... And you're gone. Yeah. So I think my boner of the week is just to enjoy the days we actually have on Earth, loving life, and doing what we all love to do, and just not thinking of other people. So yeah. It's your pork of the week. My pork of the week, yeah. Just sword of the week. Right, shall we go on to the mystery guest? Yeah. Yeah, we're ready. I think we're ready. Are we ready in the background there? Yeah, we're ready. Great stuff. Great big thumbs up and big smile. So I'm looking forward to this. I hope you two are too. I'm not going to give anything away. I hope you lot are too. Let's bring our guest in, and hopefully we won't have any predicted hiccups. Are we ready? Da, 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 da. Let's go.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going?
How are you? Yeah, I'm good. You sound a little bit croaky, but I think that's me. Bear with me one moment.
Yeah, that's definitely all you, possibly.
Is the sound okay for everyone else, for Joe, or is it a bit croaky?
The sound is great for you. I hear you great.
Oh, wow.
I hear you great.
Okay, what are we going to do here? Bear with me one moment. We haven't had it for a long time. So what I'm going to do, Joe, this is very unprofessional, but I'm going to bring myself out of the stream. I'm in the background because I've got my laptop on. I'm going to add myself straight back to the stream, and hopefully everything's okay. Be 2 moments.
You're just taking him away from the chat.
Oh, whoops. Right.
Oh no. There we go.
We're back on.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
No, so I need to remove myself now, and then I'll...
Hi, everybody. I'm going to tap dance until he gets back. Hopefully you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day here. It's Sunday, and I'm your guest today. Mystery guest. So, what's going on, everybody? Are you excited to see me? Are you surprised that it was me? Well, here I am.
There we go.
Croaky.
Okay. Hello, Joe.
I do hear you're croaky now, but it comes in and out.
Right, okay. Well, I don't know what's wrong. It's the sound on YouTube, and now I've got an echo. So bear with me.
Nope, it's good now.
It's good now?
Yes.
Excellent. Right, well, we can hear you okay. Hopefully there's no echo and everyone's okay. We always seem to get some sort of hiccup, Joe. So I apologise.
That's okay. There were moments, you know, where I can hear it go croaky in and out before I joined the live there. So
right, okay.
It's okay.
Well, we can go and grab some headphones if it's not right, but
so
it sounds okay now.
Just in case.
Excellent. Well, look, Joe, we really appreciate you coming on. Great member of the community and someone that I've watched for a little while.
Thank you.
I would just like to say this is Rebecca, by the way, my lovely wife.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm Tony. Obviously, we do this most Sundays. and we've had a lot of mystery guests on, and everyone seems to quite enjoy what we do with the mystery part of it. So we want to carry that on, and we just really appreciate you taking the time out to come and say hi to everybody. So
Sure.
thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Are you able to see the chat where you are,
I
Joe,
can't.
or-
I could if I loaded it on another device
Right,
and
okay.
watched the chat. So I prefer not to, because
That's
I don't want to
fine.
mess
No
up the
problem.
stream.
Near the end, after we finish some questions, I'll ask the people in the chat if they've got any questions, and then I'll relay those on to you.
Thank you. Yeah, because I noticed when I had both streams running at the same time, that's when it got croaky for you.
Right,
So
okay.
I chose not to do that.
Great. Right, so we're going to kick off. Joe, imagine you're on a training course.
Okay.
That awkward moment when you don't know anybody.
Okay.
And the trainer goes around the room and he asks you to introduce yourself. And you've got to say a little bit about yourself. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, Rebecca, and then we'll go round. So my name's Tony, and I am by trade a car salesman. And I have been into fragrance for, I would say, a year and a half. I entered the community. Been into fragrance a little bit longer than that. And I've fallen deep into the whole of this, and I really am grafting and working on my channel, on my Instagram, and really enjoying it. And really, the thing I enjoy the most, Joe, is the interaction with the people.
Sure.
That's huge for me. So that's massive.
Yeah.
So that's me. Rebecca?
Oh, I hate these things. I never know what to say. Hi, I'm Becca. I mainly do photography. That is my hobby. So you got me into the fragrance community by advertising me and what I can do with photography. I've worked with a few companies recently since I've started. And my job is I work in the automotive trade, and I do all the paperwork behind buying a car.
Sure, sure.
So that's me.
Okay.
Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I will, but I'm so fascinated by what you two just said that I kind of want to interview you now.
You can interview us again another time.
Okay. So hi, my name is Joe. I am a consumer of cars. I buy them, you sell them. I also am a fragrance lover. To call it an addict, fragdicted, like you. I mean, I think that says it all behind me. I'm crazy about fragrances, but I do love it. I am in the music industry by trade, so I deal with musicians and artists, and I do work in that regards. Nice hand, by the way. So yeah, I work with musicians and artists. I sell them the recording studios and the live sound stuff that they need to put together systems for their tours, for lighting, sound, anything instrument related. I deal with that.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
I've been doing that for over 16 years, and yeah, I mean, fragrances have been a part of my life since high school, middle school. I mean, since I could remember what I smelled, that's been so. Ever since I could afford to buy things, like the things behind me, that's when it got crazy. So
yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about how the sort of your journey into the fragrance community started? Do you remember a community when you started, and how?
Yeah. So when I
get into YouTube, etc., and reviewing.
Yeah. So what got me into YouTube was actually my wife. She and I were both in the YouTube before. Of course, we had two channels. Her channel specifically was about makeup, and so I was behind the scenes. I was producing. I was her camera person. I was her editing. I did all of that for a couple of years for her. And then we had a vlog channel where we would travel the world and vlog. So we did a little bit of that. And then wife stepped down from her beauty channel and said, well, why don't you do something about fragrances? Because I like to sneak a little bit of fragrances in her beauty channel because they kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So people liked my personality on her channel. So, and then she encouraged me to go ahead and do it. And so I started just to look on YouTube and see like, is this such a thing as doing videos about perfume online? Sure enough, there is. And the first few people that I found were Carlos and Steven, and of course, Jeremy Fragrance.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started watching them, and I watched a few other, guys that are just, classic people from maybe 4 years ago is when I started. And then I just went ahead and did it. So,
Awesome.
And I've noticed more recently, Joe, you've not been as active on YouTube, and you've been more active on Instagram.
Yes.
Is that a decision you've made?
No.
Yourself, or is that just happened that way?
It just so happened that way because I'm still going to be producing a lot of stuff for YouTube. I have a ton of videos that I have already filmed. I haven't edited. I have a ton of videos, and like from so long ago that I don't even look the same. That's the funny thing. And then I have stuff that I've written down of videos that I want to do like very soon. And I have collaborations that I've done with companies that are coming soon I have to film and post soon. So that's coming. So, but I have to work on that. I mean, editing for YouTube it takes a long time. And people don't realize that there's more to it than just getting up there, doing a video, and that's it. You got to do a thumbnail. You got to figure out what you're going to say. You're going to mess up 1,000 times. And then you got to edit it to look like you didn't mess up at all. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot involved in even the producing of a video and the thought process of a video. And going online and doing live chats with people like what you're doing now on Instagram for me, it fulfills me more because I'm in real time getting to react with people. I get to try things, open things, show people all the new brands that I'm working with. And like sometimes I'm the first to ever introduce people to a brand that they've never seen before. So it's a huge honor. And for me, I feel like the initial feedback and the instant gratification of Instagram, hence instant, I feel like is a little more rewarding for me, but I'm still doing YouTube. I haven't, it takes a little while.
Yeah.
I'm with you, and we were discussing that just this week, wasn't we? I was getting myself a bit hung up about, I've had some stuff in from brands recently, and I'm getting behind on the content on YouTube. My Instagram page is growing at a rate of knots compared to YouTube as well. I post every day on YouTube. I interact with, on Instagram, and I interact, sorry Joe, I interact with people a lot more on Instagram as well. So I'm talking, I'm liking, I'm interacting with people a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it easier to grow that channel. And as you say, it is a lot more instant what you can do. Apart from, I mean, we've got good equipment in terms of a decent phone that takes a decent photo that I can edit within 5 minutes and have uploaded in another 5 minutes with the hashtags and everything. So for me personally, before I even go to work, I can spend a couple of minutes getting a photo. I can edit that when I get to work just for 5 minutes, and then that's my day done on Instagram, apart from the odd interaction.
Sure.
So it's just easier. But we were talking about the same thing that you mentioned there with YouTube. It just takes up so much time. People don't realize, I think, that people just watch the videos. You can't just turn a camera on and start talking. You can, but you will bumble, and you will forget to say things you wanted to say.
Exactly.
You almost need to script what you're going to say, but then you can't sound scripted.
Exactly.
So it's difficult to put it all together, and you have to be an expert in so many different things.
Yes.
I'm expert of none, but it's growing okay. It's still growing, but I'm finding Instagram, like you, so I understand exactly where you're coming from, a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
Although you're probably, I don't know if this is the same for you, when you finally uploaded that video to YouTube, you've put all the descriptions in, you've put everything in that you need to do, your thumbnails on, you're ready to publish. That is a real good feeling.
It's rewarding. Yeah, because it's like,
really
yay, I
rewarding.
got my homework done. I did it. I'm good for like a week.
Exactly.
I'm good for a month, depending on when I did this, you know? So,
Yeah.
you know, like you do feel like very good. You know, you mentioned something about being like, feeling like you have to know everything and feel like you have to. I believe that more importantly than knowing everything is your passion. If people can see that you're passionate about this, they're not going to care that you don't know how to say a certain note or a certain perfumer's name or a certain perfume. They're more attracted to your passion than they are your knowledge. That's
have you been
more
watching my channel,
important.
Joe?
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you been watching my channel? I always muck up with certain things. So, but as you say, it's important to just be you, and hopefully people buy into you.
Yeah.
A bit like a car salesman, really.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I'm in sales too, you know, so like, you know, and it's not, I'm not trying to be a salesman in this, although people gravitate towards passion. So.
Excellent. Right, we're going to move into some, now we've found out a little bit about you, Joe, we're going to move into some of our sort of standard questions that I'm sure people are dying to hear the answers to. So some of them are fragrance related, some of them have zero to do, and they're just a bit of fun.
Sure.
So the first question, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Okay, now, will this get me booted off the channel or not?
Probably.
Well, it depends what your answer is.
So I thought I wasn't going to like it. I thought it was going to be gross. I don't actively go to a pizza shop saying, I want pineapple and ham on my pizza. However, I have tried it and I've tolerated it, and I thought it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Does it belong on there? No, it belongs in a box.
Well,
That's a good answer. That's not an answer that's going to get him kicked off, because he said he likes it, but then he's also said it's kind of a little bit rubbish at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how our friendship's going to develop, to be honest now. Right, let's move on. Joe, have you got a highlight? Let's talk about. We won't go into like too deep, but lockdowns. That we've had 2 full lockdowns here in the UK.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've just come out of one 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about two to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And certain things are open, but we've gone into like a tiered system. I asked this because I find it really interesting how people deal with situations. But what would you say were you affected by any of the lockdowns in terms of work and stuff? Were you self-isolating? And what would you say your highlight of that situation was for you? Did you have any highlights?
Yeah, I do have a highlight. First of all, at first I thought I was going to hate working from home. I actually had to work from home for 3 months. It was longer than I expected. And at first I thought I was going to hate it, but then I realized I love working in shorts and t-shirt, where instead of dressing up, I don't have to deal with people face to face. I saved a lot of money on gas.
Yeah.
I didn't have to work. I mean, there's a lot of things I just didn't have to deal with because of that. So getting to spend time with my wife could be good, could be bad, depending on whether you butt heads. But it was good. We got a chance to take walks on my lunch break, which like I normally don't get to do until after work. But we were able to I was able to blow off some steam and like, honey, let's go for a walk. Let's, I'm done with this. Let's just go for a walk in our neighborhood, and you can just do that. And like those moments are very special. And I realized I decided I was going to make the most out of this lockdown and not think of it as like I'm in prison, but think about it as I get to spend time with my wife, or I get to do things that I would never be able to do had I not been forced to be locked down. And so that in itself is a highlight. And then second of all, I made a decision before the lockdown to get very healthy, to change completely, do a lifestyle change in what I eat, and things like that. So because of that, when I go to the supermarket I give up meat and cheese and sugar and bread and a lot of things. So so I went completely vegan. So because of that, amazingly enough, the things that were completely empty on the shelves were the cheese, the meats, the milks, and the things. But what was stocked full was all the vegan products, all the veggie stuff. Nobody wanted to touch those things. And we were spared during the pandemic because there were no shortage of those things. So.
Well done you. I have noticed, Joe, it's always a difficult subject to talk about. But have you lost weight?
I have. Yeah, and that's a highlight. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good for you. Well done, because I don't mean to sound patronising there. We've got family members. We've dealt with it as well. Weight loss and gain is been quite a big thing in our lives, hasn't it? So we understand how big a deal it is to do that, and how proud of yourself you must be. So well done. Did you have I was going to say as well about you spent the positives about you spending time with your wife and stuff at home. That's how Becca felt about me. No, it was. I echo that. In what other time in my life
do we have that free time?
Until I'm going to retire, are we going to get that time back with our family again to that level, apart from holidays?
Yeah, but even holidays, I think we had about 6 weeks isolation.
Yeah.
And you can't normally just take 6 weeks off work because it's just not affordable. So having that time is definitely, especially with the older kids as well, because you never see them day to day anyway. They're locked in their rooms. But it was nice.
We don't lock them in their rooms. They lock themselves in their rooms.
That's what video games will do to you.
But it's just nice to have that time. So yeah, 100%. It was just nice to, I suppose, detox from life. Yeah. From busy life.
And it was a good thing. I think it was a good thing. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you had any lowlights then, Joe. Did you have anything that you can think of that sort of got you down a little bit through lockdown?
I guess if I talk about this part, although we weren't expecting this to happen, we had planned a lot of trips to go. Like I was supposed to go to Essence several times, because Lord knows they changed it twice this year. I was supposed to go to Essence, and that never happened. I was supposed to visit my family because they live 12-hour drive away from here. I didn't get a chance to see my mother, and she had passed away in September. So I never got a chance to see her during this pandemic. So that was difficult. That was like maybe the low point of the.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. It's been, I think 2020 can seriously go away. We've had things happen, and it's not been a nice year really. So.
No.
But as you say, you take the positives that you can, and it sounds like you've really done that.
We've been very blessed this year, I have to say. I look back at all the things that we've been able to do still.
Yeah.
I mean, we still were able to go to Istanbul, Turkey, just not even a month ago. We were still able to be together. We were still able to eat. We are doing better now financially than we were before the pandemic. Well, I mean, like, there's so many things I can be happy for, like that. I'm more blessed than ever, than I was before. Like, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but I just feel very, like I'm focusing on the positive. But yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are giving their thoughts to you in the chat. So
thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask a fragrance related question. I see your Instagram post, and it seems like you've got a lot in recently.
Yeah.
What has been your most recent sort of like or love that you've got in?
So I would say, and I'm probably going to talk about this a lot, but one of my favorite brand discoveries of 2020 has been this brand right here. I don't know if you've seen anything about these guys right here, TRMP.
Yeah. We've got Claire Smurfy Girlie in the chat, and she's a huge fan.
I know she is. Every time I see her posting, I'm like, that's my girl. Because that is literally like this brand right here has, I am smitten by what she does. This person right here from Australia, by the way, just does amazing work. And I'm just blown away. Like, and when I wear it, I feel like I can feel all of her heart and soul, like all the work that she's done in this brand. Like, I really feel what she felt when she made this. Like I'm feeling the feelings that she felt. Like, very rarely does a brand move me to pass on the emotion that was created from that fragrance to the person who's wearing it. Like, very rarely has a brand done that for me, but this one completely has done that, and it's so deep on so many levels. It's amazing. So I would buy anything and everything this person makes. Like,
there's a couple I really want to try. I really want to try Embers. I know they get so much.
Oh yeah, got it. Oh, this is so good, Embers. Look at the color of that juice too.
It looks amazing.
It's natural too. Like, it's not like, somebody threw in some Coca-Cola, syrup in it and call it a day.
Sounds amazing. You'd like to try that, I think.
Yeah.
And then we've also, their newest one, I think, is Bittersweet, isn't it? Which
I haven't tried
mentioned recently. That sounds amazing as well. But no, great discoveries. Right, so you can answer the next one in terms of this one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Turkey.
I love it. He's like,
let's ask it in a different way. There's one here that I'd like to ask in a different way. So you have a magic bus. We're going to do that.
A magic bus?
Yeah, you've got a magic bus, Joe.
Magic bus.
And you press a button and you arrive in your destination. What 3 destinations across the world would you pick to go to?
Ooh.
Oh, good.
You just press a button, your next destination. Where would you like to go?
Thank you for, first of all, thank you for giving me 3 locations and not 1. So, first and foremost, Dubai.
Yes.
Yep.
I want to go to Dubai. Okay. Love it. I mean, I've never been there, but everything I see and read about it and all the fragrances that are there and all my type of fragrances are there. Like, I gravitate towards the rich, heavy oriental and ouds and ambers and basically the things that a Middle Eastern royalty would wear. Like, that's me. That's what I want. And I want to go to Dubai to experience all of that. And the luxury and the whole shopping experience and all the, all that
of course.
Stuff. Okay.
You'd spend the fortune.
Second is going to be Paris.
Okay.
I've been to Paris before twice, but it's for the perfume, really. For the perfume and fashion, it's going to be Paris. And then second of all is going to be London. Third of all, London. Sorry, I said second of all. Third of all, London. I've been to London a few times. I love it there. And I would probably be okay if I had to quarantine in Harrods for a month. I would be okay.
Me too.
That would be too bad.
Me too.
Yeah.
We had a shopping trip there recently, Joe. When we came out of the first lockdown, it was in July. We went to see a fragrance friend in London. Me and Becca stayed in a hotel. And we met this fragrance friend. He's got his own brand, and he works out of Harrods and gets a discount in Harrods as well. And we made full use of it. We were in there nearly all day.
You could spend all day and another day in Harrods.
Oh, I have. And you don't know where time went. That's the crazy part. No. You're in the Bermuda Triangle of Harrods.
Literally.
And you do not you lose track of time because. And then you realize, wait, there's 6 more floors, and I haven't. I'm still on the main floor. Yeah. And the food hall, of course, back in the day when I was eating everything and I could eat anything. My God, that right there was a thing where I was like, where do I go? I want to try everything from everybody. Oh, so fun.
It's
then
still like that.
It's still exactly the same as that. Did you manage to get up to the 6th floor?
Yes, twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was stuck there. I was just stuck. I couldn't go anywhere else.
Couldn't go anywhere, yeah.
Once you go to heaven, you can't go back. You know?
Yeah, and that's definitely on the 6th floor, isn't it, heaven? So
That
it
is-
looks like heaven as well.
It does.
There is a brand. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to hear whether you tried anything from them. And
Henri Jacques.
Pardon, sorry.
Henri Jacques.
Yes. Yes.
I knew you'd say that, but I have tried them, and I don't own a single thing of theirs yet. But one day, when I grow up, I will get it. So,
when you're not a boy anymore, you're going to get one.
eventually.
Well, I've got to try experience sort of 3 or 4 of them while we were talking to the gentleman running the booth, and I was blown away by what I smelled. But I'd already spent a bit, and they would have cost me a small fortune. Even as a small spray of something, you couldn't get a 10 ml of something. It was a 30 ml spray or an oil, and you were talking upwards of £500 for everything. Upwards.
You're right.
And
I know.
What goes up from there? So
yeah, that's definitely a bucket list brand on my wish list
100%.
of brands to own in my collection.
Yes, definitely. You don't see a lot of them in the community. I don't think they sort of do a lot through influencers and reviewers and stuff.
No, because they don't work with influencers, but you do see them from the hardcore collectors.
Yeah.
And I follow a lot of them, and I know that they have them because when I see them posting, I'm like, oh,
I'm jealous.
making me so jealous.
Excellent. Right, so we're going to move on. What's been this? Everyone asks this question, but what has been your sense of the day today?
Oh, well, funny that you should ask. I can't prepare. I'm wearing Cacique by Renier.
Okay.
So Cacique is created by Christian Carbonell.
Okay.
So this is part of the Taino collection. And so in the Taino collection, he has several different perfumers that are to help create this collection. And Christian Carbonell actually appears twice in this collection. And this one is very royal, very regal oud on 2 levels. I mean, there's Indian oud and Cambodian oud in this. There's vanilla, there's raspberry, there's caramel. So it's like this, heavy duty, little bit on the skankier Middle Eastern oud with all those fruity and woody and patchouli and all those beautiful notes. I mean, it's amazing. I'm rocking it right now and I'm loving it.
Excellent.
So what would you say is your first ever sort of niche fragrance that you got your hands on? What was your first?
I hate to be cliche, but it was Creed Aventus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not cliche at all.
I mean, I feel like everybody's probably like, yeah, that was my first one, and then Bond number 9 was my second. I had Sent a Piece for Man. That was my second, and then Tom Ford. So it was my third.
Excellent.
And what would be your go-to scent as a teenager, as a young lad? What would be your go-to scent back in the day?
Yeah,
So,
I had
when you were younger?
I had actually a few. Now that I think about it, the one that I wore a lot of in high school was Nautica. Nautica was one. I also wore Polo Green, believe it or not. I know that was a bit sophisticated back in the day, but I liked it. My sister hated it on me. She was like, it smells like pepper. It smells too peppery. I don't know. And then I was like, you have never smelled peppery fragrances until you smell Marc Jacobs. You remember Marc Jacobs Bomb?
Yes.
Bang.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's called Bang.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Bang.
like in a bottle that looked like it was crushed, and that one was super peppery, like the most peppery smelling I've ever smelled. And then I had Hugo Boss, like the one that comes with the green cap that you unscrew. And so, yeah, that was, and Tommy, of course. You got to have Tommy.
You had Tommy.
I've still got a bottle of Tommy.
Still got Tommy.
I mean, when I smell those things, like it reminds me of like all the people I hung out with and what I did and where I was. And
it takes you straight back, doesn't it?
It takes me straight back. It's crazy what a time machine that thing can do.
And in terms of, you've obviously had a lot of interactions, and you've been to Scent Explore, and you've been to different events. But is there? You don't have to name me one, but you can name me 2 or 3 if you want to. But are there any other fragrance reviewers that you talk to a fair bit, so you've become like quite good friends with?
Yes, Mr. Cologne.
Yeah, so Glenn, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Cologne. Love that guy. He's one of my favorite people. We started off pretty early too. Like we bounced ideas off of each other. We have very similar taste. Like I have advised him on some things that he like I know he's gonna love, and then he'll pick it up and he loves it. So like me and him like really bonded really well. Both Steven and Carlos and we keep in contact on a regular basis as well.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah, too bad I don't live in New York where I get to hang out with them. But yeah.
Brilliant. And it's the bond, isn't it, you get with people is great from this community. Have you, when you went to Scent Explore, you obviously met other people that you've probably met before, people like Jeremy Fragrance and
Yes.
Demi Rawlin. Was there someone that, I'm going to try and keep this positive rather than put you in a negative situation, but was there someone that really surprised you with their personality, and you thought they was probably going to be something different to who they were in a positive way?
I don't even like, I really, so I don't know how to answer this without making me think that I was thinking negative about any person, because I really don't. I always like to, I always try to think of like, okay, what's the positive in this person? Like maybe they're not liked because of things that maybe they're not liked because of the things that they see online about these people, but they don't know them in person and they haven't met them yet. Whereas, I mean, everybody but Demi I have met, and Al, Street Sense.
Yes. Yeah,
like those are Demi and Al were I think the only 2 people that I've not met before. And though they were better in person than I expected, maybe more so Al. He was super nice, very, friendly. And not that I had any preconceived notions. I didn't know what he was going to be like, but he does come off like he's very tough and a New Yorker, kind of thing. So I didn't know what to expect, but he was much, much nicer in person than.
Yeah, I understand that. Sorry, that's a tough question. I'll give you an example of what I was thinking of when it came to Brandon from Da Vinci's Alchemist is popping up on my chat. And I remember something he mentioned, that he always knew from the channel that she was lovely, but Curly Sense, she basically made an effort to go up to Brandon. Brandon went on his own and basically say hi. She gave him a big hug and started speaking to him. And I think he was a bit blown away by that. And
yeah,
that's what sort of was popping into my head as I was saying it.
Yes.
Obviously that surprised Brandon. Everyone knows that she's lovely, but to get that reaction, I think that meant a lot to him. So
there was a lot of
cements that how she is on camera is what she was like in person.
Sure, and I can attest to this. Like she was really a wonderful person in person as well.
Yeah.
Same with Demi. Demi is one of those girls where every girl wants to be Demi because it's like she's successful. She's got a fragrance that she's coming out with. She's doing very well. There's a lot of bitterness and jealousy sometimes, and I don't know, it just comes off the wrong way. And she is by far one of the most wonderful ladies in Fragcom that I've ever met. And she's misunderstood by so many people because of their jealousy. And I hate that. I hate that for her. And I want her to succeed. I want her to do well. And I don't want people to hate on people at all. No. I'd rather not see that.
No. We need to focus on the positives in the community, definitely.
Absolutely.
Right, I'll get Becca to ask a couple of questions now. They're usually ones that I will get Becca to ask, but they're ones that are close to my heart, Joe. And
it's food and cake, mainly.
Yeah, which isn't easy if you're eating as clean as you are. But I'll let you ask the
I don't think you've ever been a clean eater.
No, not.
No, it's really bad.
Only when I train for a fight, and then I'm really strict on myself. Apart from Saturday nights.
So when he says he trains for a fight, well, you don't at the moment because of lockdown, but he's had a few amateur boxing fights. So Tony's massive into his boxing. So I don't know whether you have it over there, but events called white collar boxing.
We've had those as well, yeah.
Like where you dress up in a suit and you fight?
It's meant to be non-professional fighting, basically.
Yeah. So the only time Tony's ever clean with his food is if he has to go into a ring with somebody. Other than that, anything goes. He will just eat and consume anything. Cakes. He's a hidden cake eater. He keeps cakes in his car. It's just all over the place, Joe.
Keeps cakes in his car?
Yeah.
What's he drive so I can go check it out real quick?
Well, Becca likes to fat shame me, obviously.
Whatever. I think you're
playing
fine.
I'm playing the victim, Joe.
Definitely not the victim. But one of the normal questions that we ask is, what is your, well, it's going to be a little different.
Okay.
Vegan ice cream. What is your favourite vegan ice cream?
Well, now that I'm vegan, you're right. Well, okay, I'm gonna do the before and after.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do that way I can make everybody happy. So back when it didn't matter, for me, I was a huge fan of like chocolate with dark chocolate chips in it. So I love chocolate with chocolate, like anything with chocolate and peanut butter in it. So I love.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed, but I found a way to make a vegan version of it.
Oh, okay,
wow.
yeah.
So without using any kind of cream, I use usually like an almond milk or a coconut milk, and unsweetened. And I freeze bananas in the freezer, so that acts as like the creamy base. Yeah. And then I add cocoa powder, which is unsweetened, and peanut butter, like real peanut butter, like the kind that you make yourself, not the kind that you buy in the store that has loaded with sugar.
Okay. Yeah.
So like fresh ground peanut butter. And those 4 ingredients in a blender make the most amazing chocolate peanut butter milkshake in the world.
What?
It's just
really?
Yes, and it's you don't feel guilty because all it is bananas, coconut or almond milk that's unsweetened. And the bananas are what make things sweet in this. Yeah. It's the ripened bananas that have been frozen. And then you end up with this very cold, frosty, creamy, you swear you're eating ice cream. And you get the protein from the nut, you get the fat from the nut, you get the sugar from the banana, you get the antioxidants from the cocoa. I mean, you can't go wrong. And it tastes freaking good. You know?
I love this. I love almond milk. I hate cow's milk. Literally hate it. Hated it ever since I was a little kid. So almond milk, I love almond milk.
It never agreed with me. Like regular milk never agreed with my body.
No,
humans weren't meant to, I don't know if you knew this, but humans were not meant to consume cow's milk. Well, it was meant for the cows. It was meant for the calf.
Yeah. No other animal or human or any other creature drinks any other person's milk.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, 100%. I get that, 100%. But no, cow's milk has never agreed with me. So I think I'll be all over that.
So Joe, if we ever come over to America,
he's making this chocolate ice cream.
We will be visiting the JoeSCENTMe studio.
Yes, you are welcome here. By the way, both of you are welcome here. If you ever come to America, please let me know.
Well, thank you very much.
So I have to ask then, which coincides with the ice cream. What is your favourite meal now? Have you got a meal that you just look at and you think, oh, I just want to just put my whole face in it. I love it that much.
Yeah. Well, so because of us eating as healthy as we are, we're not going out to eat as much. But we did find a way to do our own hack version of a Chipotle like bowl, basically, where like basically a taco salad. But without the actual tacos, without the ground beef or any of that. So we make our own version, and with brown rice and beans and like corn and salsa, and we make it hot and spicy, and we make our own thing, and it's great. It's filling. It feels good. Like you got a lot of fiber and protein in it, and it's great.
That sounds like my food. I have a lot of allergies, Joe. Not going to go into it, but I have a lot of allergies with food. And when I cut them out, it was really hard to start with, because you go from having the option of walking into a store and picking whatever you want to then going and thinking, well, I never knew that contained that. I never knew that had that in it. So stripping it all back, I've now got to a point a couple of years down the line where, I won't go and eat a burger, but I'll eat a deconstructed burger. So it'll be salad on the base with a little bit of meat, with some salsa, some avocados.
Yes.
Yeah, so that sounds like my kind of cooking.
There you go. So that's kind of what I'm having, is sort of a deconstructed taco salad, but without the meat and the cheese, without the cheese either.
Well, I'm going to take this back unhealthy again, because this conversation is making me uneasy. It's not, by the way. But,
it's all right.
Right, you're back in Harrods. I'm taking you straight back to Harrods. You're in the food hall. You get to the cake counter. Now, sorry about this.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's my favourite food, and everyone knows me for cake, so I have to ask the question. What's your favourite type of cake? What would you pick? Chocolate cake.
Chocolate with a chocolate ganache, but a buttercream frosting in the middle, like a chocolate buttercream frosting, so it's light and fluffy in the middle, but the ganache is on the top, just draped over the cake to keep it all together.
Warm or cold?
I like it cold.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I like it cold, I'll tell you why, is because if you warm up a cake with ganache, it will turn into a syrup. The ganache would melt, and it would kind of get kind of grody. So the cold ganache keeps the cake together so that it doesn't fall apart on you when you eat it. So it's like eating fudge almost.
Nice.
Well, Joe, I put my foot in it. I'm not going to ask the same question, because we found out that you're a vegan fairly on in the chat. But we had a chat with a brand, and I asked the lady what's her favourite meal from McDonald's. Which was quite awkward, because she was like, well, seeing as I'm vegan, I don't really like McDonald's, but a salad. I was like, oh, okay, moving on. So there we go.
So do you have, apart from fragrance, and obviously what you do as a job, do you have another hobby? Is there anything that
you're passionate about?
Obviously you like traveling as well with you.
Yeah, I do love traveling. I like shoes. I'm a shoe guy.
What, trainers? As in like sneakers, or all types of shoes?
I'm more into like bougie sneaker brands that are more like bougie, but I'm more of like into your Balenciaga, which I have none.
Nice.
So but like I'm into like the bougie brands that like make really cool shoes. So I'm into like kind of cool, hard to get stuff. Like,
have you? This is really random, but I'm massive on my trainers, my shoes. Have you? I know this brand is coming over to America, but if you do like unusual sort of bougie trainers, you should check out this brand called Mallets. So they're massive over here, very niche. They're in Harrods. I've got a couple of pairs from him, and his trainers are just something completely different to what you can find on the high street, what you can find when you walk into Foot Locker, for example.
Exactly.
Mallet is coming over to America because he's advertised it on all social media. But just check out the website.
Okay, send me offline. We'll send me a link to that.
Yes, definitely. Instagram. I think it's a brand that you'll probably really
curious.
like.
I'm by the way, I'm a slip-on kind of guy too. By the way, I don't care for like shoelaces.
Okay.
Sorry. Like I'm not okay. So I don't know what it is, but I love the look of a laceless shoe. Like Just makes it look a little more sleeker and modern. So
yeah, no, definitely you do need to check out Melly's. I think it's something that you'll probably really like. So yeah, we'll drop you a link. 100%.
I'll get Becca to message you on Instagram.
Yes, please.
Just to make sure that you know who she is on Instagram as well, because I'm Fragdicted, but Becca's Fragdicted Snap, so she's very similar logo, but Becca concentrates on the photography side of fragrance and
other things. I do my main photography is portraits.
Oh, okay. But still, there's no excuse for you to not have good photography for your fragrance of the day posts.
No, I try. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my stuff really. I'm really putting some effort into that. I've had some training. I've learned from a good person, and I'm really giving that a good go.
You're in good hands. Like, I don't even have that. Like, I just go with whatever I think looks good. And I make up my own motifs. I do a lot of flat lay stuff, but I just go for that whenever I can, so. Excellent.
Joe, this is a question I've asked everybody so far, and I'm really intrigued in the different answers and how people answer it. Back to fragrance a moment. The question I'd like to ask is, if you had the option of starting your own brand, like a lot of people have had the option of doing recently, or the other option, that's option A. Option B is that a big house approach you and they're going to run it all but collaborate with you on it, i.e. you get a lot of creative involvement in it, it will have your name on it and you get to input whether you choose the name and what's in it, etc. What would you be interested in either of those routes, i.e. your own brand or I collaborate, and what would you be happy to do?
First of all, a great question. Because in this lately, what you're seeing a lot of is a lot of people coming out with their own brands. And a good 3 of them, at least that I know of, maybe 4, are all working with the same technical investor. And then they do their own narratives, and they get to choose their perfumer and all this and that. If I had, and it looks to me like if you got 100,000 or more subscribers, you have the luxury to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I am at a wee 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I have 20 more years to go. I don't have that luxury, and the thing is I'm happy for them, and I want them to do very well. In fact, I represent one of those brands right now, so and I love it. It's a great brand. I want them to be successful. I want them to do that. So for me, it's a combination of both. I would rather piggyback off of a brand that has this amazing reputation of like, this is like, first of all, like to be part of a brand, like let's say if I were with Creed or with Raja Dove or with like, somebody like it's an iconic brand like that. I would love to piggyback off of that brand because I know that they've got the money to do whatever the heck I want. And it still gets their name, and there's people who are loyal to that name that would buy it before they were loyal to my name, because some people still don't know who JoeSCENTMe is, and that's okay, but they know who Raja Dove is. And if I were to collaborate with Raja Dove on a JoeSCENTMe fragrance, that could be a big deal because it shows 2 things. 1, Raja Dove trusts me and loves me enough to allow me to be a part of that. And then 2, it's like, it means that I've gone to that level now. And so for me, that's a big deal. So I would rather partner with a brand and be part of the co-creative process of that than to create my own brand. That's just my thought.
No, great answer. People have answered it very differently, and I don't know where I sit with it. Like you, I'm not a big person in the fragrance community, so I don't expect this to happen. If it happens at all, it'll be many, many years from now. But I'm not sure, even in 10 years' time, if I'd ever have enough experience to truly say that this is what the majority of people, or what smells good. If I just go with what I want to smell, it's very subjective, isn't it? And people are just going to be trusting me. Now, if I've got 100,000 subscribers, it's very different, isn't it? Because you've got a big following and people that will, they watch your videos and they will trust your judgment. They think, well, I like what he likes, so I'm bound to like the fragrance he produces. I'll tell you one person that I like the way they've done it is Mr. Smelly with his.
Yes.
He's had full creative control. He's used one perfumer and he's got one fragrance. He's released something that's unique to his style of reviewing as well. So it's very true to what he does. And it means something. It means an awful lot. I'm not saying it doesn't with other people, but I like the way he's concentrated on one thing. And then eventually, I'm sure there will be other releases.
I'm sure.
He's not going to be quick to do that. It's going to be a process that's going to take some time. So I love the way Mr. Smelly's done it.
I agree. I totally agree, and I think that his fragrance also personifies who he is as a person, what his preferences are. Like, it is exactly what I expect a Mr. Smelly fragrance to smell like, because, like, if you watch his videos and you like start to learn what he loves, it's him in a bottle. It's him in a bottle, and they really did a good job of that.
Well, we've got another question. People have they're making some jokes about what I would bring out, and
your fragrance would be called birthday cake.
It would be along the lines of cake, or it'd be very gourmand, or Tony's bakery line is super sweet, etc. So
no worries. Hey, you know what? There's a place for that, and I love gourmand, so I would totally dive into that.
Yeah, excellent. Well, there's a question around that thing. So, what would you say? Because you've got a lot of different fragrances behind you, and you've got to try a lot of different things.
Yes.
Have you got a favourite style of fragrance in terms of gourmand or?
Not one specific style, but mainly I could tell you I love gourmand. I love oriental fragrances. I love anything with patchouli, vanilla, amber, honey, tobacco, booze, spices, oud, and real oud, not fake oud. Like the real deal. Like I love things like that are super heavy, like rose, saffron, just things that just smell very rich, very opulent, things that will like turn heads and make you go, whoa, who was that? What was that? Like, yeah. I want that. I want something that makes me smell like $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me.
You've got expensive taste, is what you're trying to say.
Well, I mean, I do, because I've smelled so much and I love so much. Like I'll never get tired of it. I really won't.
I think you've got your ultimate last question to ask, and it's the burglar question.
Yeah, we usually live for about an hour, Joe. So it's just absolutely.
I'm okay with longer, by the way. I'm enjoying this.
well, you've been a pleasure so far, and I love how honest and everything you've been. So thank you for going along and doing this. But what we'll do is I'll ask a couple more questions, and then we'll move in to see if any of the chat. By the way, yes, sorry, apologies. We're all over the place. I'm all over the place here. Becca has some would you rather questions.
Okay, good. Well. Sure. Let's do it.
Fire questions.
But I just have to say, our 8-year-old daughter wrote these today specifically for you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Our 8-year-old daughter has done you a would you rather list, and she's asked me to ask you them. So some of them.
What is her name, by the way, so I can say her name and thank her?
It's Phoebe.
What is it?
Phoebe.
Phoebe. Well, thank you, Phoebe, for this opportunity. I look forward to answering your questions.
What the last question I would usually ask is fragrance related, and I am a thief, Joe. I'm going to come into your house. I'm going to take this section of your fragrance. I'm going to put them all in the sack. Yeah. And then I go out the door, and I look back, and I see you crying. And I've got a heart, I might be a thief, but I've got a heart. So I say, you know what, Joe? I'm going to let you keep 3 of these fragrances to keep. Okay. This is putting you on the spot, but you can, straight from your mind, what 3 fragrances would you choose to keep from that lovely collection of yours?
Oh man, it is on the spot. Um, I have to say whatever my, I mean, I don't care. I'm insured, so take what you want. No. Don't take away Ani by Nishani. Don't take away that. Don't
Lovely
take
fragrance.
any of these. Don't take any of these. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And
Joe's going to break the rules and pick a brand instead of a fragrance.
right. Yeah. Don't take it.
Don't
Right,
take any
right.
from that brand.
Okay.
or
Don't
this
take my
brand.
embers. Okay. Don't take my embers. Don't take my embers. And then God, I have so many good things in here that are like another one. Don't take my Carolina Herrera the private blend, which by the way is at Harrods, but don't take any of those.
We see a lot of private blends at Harrods that I really would like to dive into. Really would.
Oh, yeah.
Serge Lutens, for example. There's a lot of stuff out there that you just wouldn't associate with even people like oh god, what was the one I quoted the other day? The Salvatore Ferragamo have a private.
Yes.
line.
Oh yeah, Ferragamo's got a ton of great stuff.
So it's just I really need to dive into this. Well, look, Joe, I'll let you get away with what you've said there. I have got another one. Sorry, I said that was my last question, but it just came into my head.
That's
as you were
fine.
saying
I'm
what you
here.
love
Look, I'm
there.
here.
You've obviously got a lot of fragrances you love.
Yes.
Now, I'm finding this next part of my journey quite difficult because I've gone from cheap clone houses, cheap designers, and then I've moved things on a little bit, like a lot of journeys take. I've pretty much skipped a lot of the designer, and I've moved into
Sure.
niche. Now, there was a fragrance that I got, and it's been my sort of holy grail so far.
Okay.
Okay, I need some advice from you on this. And the holy grail fragrance for me, and I'm sure you've tried it, is the Chronic from Byron.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, and that to me is just right up my street in terms of what it smells like. And
Sure.
I find myself now, everything I smell or get my nose on, I don't dismiss it quickly, but I spray it and I think, yeah, no, not as good. And I keep trying to beat that, and I haven't yet in terms of what I like. Is that happened to you, and did you keep beating it? Because that will give me some hope.
Yes, I did. I did keep beating it. When I do a holy grail fragrance, it's not one fragrance. It's a holy grail in the category of patchouli. It's the holy grail in the category of ouds. It's a holy grail in the category of amber, of tobaccos, and things like that. And yes, I have. Sometimes I'll go and like smell something, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a really good vanilla." Like, holy cow, this is. And sometimes, I mean, I haven't smelled every vanilla in the world yet, and there's still stuff to come that is getting better and better and better. So I feel like, and as your nose develops, and as you start realizing, and you get your palate refines, over time, the things that you probably dismissed before, you're probably going to go back to and be like, why did I dismiss this? This is actually really good, and I've done that before, and I've went back and picked it up after the fact. So I think that there's hope for you, and keep on doing what you do, and keep an open mind, and be ready to be blown away, because there's more to come.
I need to be blown away. That's what I need. I need some more.
Yes.
I'm excited every time I try something, and then I think I get so excited, and then I go, oh, and then just sometimes, every so often, something I'm really keen on, I think, wow. Now, it's a little bit frustrating. I went around Harrods, that whole floor smelled so much, probably too much in one day, to be honest.
Oh, right, yes. It's easy to be overwhelmed.
I definitely got overwhelmed, and I was still trying to find that fragrance. I thought, well, I want to buy something today that's better than the Chronic, and I think I went with the wrong expectations. I think I maybe should have gone, right, I want something today that I want to find that's vanilla based, that I really want to buy. And I think if I'd gone to the brands and gone like, what vanilla fragrances would you recommend to me, I probably would have had more luck than just going in completely blind.
Yes. That's what I think too. I mean, find what you love about the Chronic.
Yeah.
There may be like a few notes that pop out to you, and see if you can isolate those notes in other fragrances
Yeah.
and see if you can find a better version of those notes there.
I think one of the notes is sandalwood, and this is why I really want to try embers because of the Mysore sandalwood.
Oh God, yes, like in its most natural state. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
on the want list.
I have a feeling once you start with embers, this is going to be like your Pringles, man. Once you start, you know.
I'll get my nose on it then. Right.
Like
if people in the chat could start writing some questions, if you have any for Joe, that'd be great. Becca will move on to her Would You Rathers. Phoebe's Would You Rathers.
Phoebe's, yes.
And then we will then see if you've got anything to talk to us about, Joe, and then we'll call it a day. So we're at 8 o'clock now, UK time.
Yes.
But no, it's flown by.
I just have to point out, she's even drawn a candy cane.
Oh, that's sweet.
So she's gone to a lot of effort for this. So I'm gonna start. Some of them probably don't make sense, but I did promise her. So
that's fine.
Says, would you rather Christmas edition? So they're all Christmas related.
Good.
So the first one, gingerbread or candy canes?
Candy cane.
Multicolored lights, gold or silver or gold and silver for a Christmas tree.
So behind us here we have a golden light. Would you go multicolored or one color?
It depends. Yeah. So I'm a multicolor person. So I like more colors, but there's something very romantic and warm about like golden lights like that. Like it reminds me of a childhood Christmas tree. So there's something classic about it. So yeah, but I'm a multicolor person, but gold is special.
Okay. So. Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Yeah.
Christmas.
Santa or Elf on the Shelf?
Santa. Yeah.
An angel or a star for the top of the tree?
An angel.
Would you rather go out or stay in for Christmas?
I have no choice. I'm staying in.
Would you have a wreath or would you have lights on your house?
We have wreaths.
Yeah. Christmas cards with money or presents?
Oh, money. Because then I can buy what I want.
Okay, this is probably the most random one. Have a relaxing bath or shower or just don't wash?
Relaxing bath or shower for sure.
Okay, well, she didn't know obviously you're vegan, but a feast of meat or junk food?
A feast of meat.
Again, chicken or turkey for Christmas dinner?
Chicken.
Home Alone or Elf, the film?
Oh, Home Alone.
Would you rather have a Christmas jumper for Christmas Day or Christmas socks?
Jumper.
I don't know whether you have this. Eggnog?
We do have it, but I don't want it. So what is the other option?
The choice is eggnog or mulled wine.
I don't drink alcohol either, so I don't drink. I can't have either. So
mulled juice.
Yeah, juice, Ribena.
Bottled water.
Would you rather have a food coma or a hangover?
Food coma.
Yes. And then my last one is predicted or predicted snaps.
Predicted snaps.
Joe,
she
asks that every week. It's so awkward.
It's only because he never gets.
I'm only. You know, I've got to be diplomatic here. You know, she's the one that asked the question. If you ask that question, then
see,
Joe, predicted or predicted?
Leading the witness here. You know.
You can't go back now.
Oh, sorry.
Make this decision. It's me.
Thank you, Phoebe, for those questions. They were very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I will let her know. She probably spent about an hour on them.
Well, that's very sweet of her.
She obviously thought about them.
I think she Googled most of them.
That's okay. It was still very precious of her. So thank you.
Research. There is some questions for you, Joe.
Okay.
Sam the Scent from Instagram has put a question for Joe, and I don't know if I'm going to spell this correctly. You might know what he means. Sarmal or Koznak? Do you know what that means? Any meaning to you?
What the spell it?
SARMALE.
Oh, that's a Romanian food. Sarmale.
Sarmale. Okay, sorry, apologies.
Sarmale.
Sarmale. Okay. So, have you got some Romanian heritage then?
I am Romanian.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
It obviously meant something, and Sam knew that.
So he knew. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Right. I think John's got a question here as well.
Where is it?
Someone said to me, Joe, if after I'm going to go niche, I'm going to have to do my live streams in my shed in my underpants.
I actually have, not myself, but I have done a shared live with somebody that was in their underpants and I didn't know.
Russell Anderson, I don't know if you know Russell from, he collaborated with James Underwood for quite some time.
Okay.
And he's asked, have you got a discount for Embers?
I do not. I wish. I do not. I just know that, they've always got deals on their website right now because of the holidays. So just pay attention to any of that. So
excellent. John, I've put the question on the screen. It's put,
great.
Joe, would you rather have one rare oud, pure oud, or 2 Rosa level fragrances? So 1 oud or 2 Rosa Dove level fragrances?
I feel like my 2 Rosa Dove level fragrances would get more diversity and play than just 1 skanky oud, which I love oud, but I can't just wear it every day. Yeah. It's got to be worn on a special in the right time in the right place. Whereas I can get more mileage out of 2 good Rajas than 1 really good special, one-time only ouds.
Cutty has put, Joe, how many fragrances do you have in your collection?
I think I'm over 1,000 bottles.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Nigel from 2 Cents Worth has asked, what are your thoughts on Angel's Share?
I have not tried it, but I need both those. I need that and Rose on Ice as well.
Is that the one you like the sound of more?
There's 2 of them from this Killian. They're Killians.
Yeah. The Angel's Share you've seen everywhere, but the Rose on Ice you haven't seen as much yet.
I haven't seen anything on any of those, but I want them both because they're Killian and they both sound amazing.
Excellent. Have you got many Killians?
I've got 2 Killians.
2. Okay. Matt from Pocket Sense, who is the other half of Norton and Wilson, if you didn't know that. So he works with Dan. He's put, Joe, when watching your channel, I've noticed a lot of beautiful presentations. How much do you feel the presentation affects your perception of the perfume inside consciously or subconsciously? Good question.
Very good question. Thank you.
Great question, Matt.
Did Phoebe send you that? Okay. That's a good question. No, I do think that it depends like on the price point of the fragrance. Like if we're talking about a 100-pound fragrance, like what 95, I think if we're talking about Gravitas, yes, it comes in a paper box, but the bottle is still fabulous. There's that gold plate on it and it's etched. There's a heavy Zamac cap. So as long as the bottle is still in, because I'm going to put the bottle on the shelf. I'm not putting the box on the shelf. So, but sometimes in a limited edition presentation, I'm going to expect a really good presentation for the juice to be, in limited edition presentation, I'm going to care about the presentation. But I do think that is part of the package. Like, if I spent $1,000 on a fragrance and it came in a cardboard box, and the cap was about to fall off, no thanks. You know, like it's gotta, like it literally has to be, there has to be something very special about the story. This maybe have to be one of maybe 200 in the world. You know, there has to be something very special to warrant the price tag or whatever, you know. So, but I do think that there is a perception, yes, that like the like it's got a part of, there is a perception, and yes, I agree that some of that does subconsciously affect my ability to or affect my expectations of what this fragrance should smell like.
Excellent. Well, Joe, I've got, if it's okay with my wife, she needs to get my daughter to bed.
Yes,
I'm going to stay and talk to Joe for another 10, 15 minutes. That's okay with you.
That's fine.
And I'll ask you a couple of things that have just come into my head. Have you got time, Joe, or not? If you
I do. I can stay a little longer. Yes.
Excellent. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we've got my daughter at the door, and we don't want to leave her up too late. She's got school tomorrow. So.
Understood. Have a good night. Thank you, Becca, and have a good night.
No, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and I will let her know that those questions were like just
I liked
loved them.
You know what?
It
reminded me of my childhood. I mean, she brought up Home Alone. I mean, that was it. That's all I needed.
It is a good film. It's a wicked film. I think it's one of her favourites. That's why she's put it in there.
Oh, very good.
It was lovely to meet you.
Nice meeting you too. Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, and to you. Yeah, 100%. So I'll love and leave everybody.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
See you later. Right.
Right. Thanks, Joe. I'll sit in the middle here now.
Straddle the seats.
Yeah.
It looks like one giant seat now.
Yeah, it's like if I put them both together, it's a bit uncomfortable. I'm okay. Right. Yeah, there was a couple of things that you've mentioned. Home Alone. There is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
If there's Christmas music in it,
yep.
Then yeah,
there is. There is Christmas.
Then yes,
it's one of the most debated films and debated things. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And so many people sit on either side. It's like pineapple on pizza, one way or another.
It potentially can be, you know, if it was in a man cave and you're alone, and you're watching a movie and you're feeling like a Bruce Willis film, and you're watching it on Christmas and you want something a little less children friendly. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. The questions that I asked about finding the Holy Grail fragrance. One thing that interests me about that is your take on it. Is you sort of specified, let's break it down into smaller chunks.
Yes.
What's the best amber? What's the best tobacco? Tobacco came up. Now, that's one of the things when I first started in doing this, I didn't think to begin with I liked tobacco because I associated it with tobacco vanille, which was far too strong for me at the time.
Right.
And really bizarrely, my nose is definitely changing because I really like it now. So I don't know what's happened.
Hey, that's just you growing up, you know.
I'm becoming a man.
That's right.
With tobacco scents, the one thing I really want to try, it's on my wish list, is Naxos.
Yes.
From Xerjoff. Have you? Because I remember seeing your fragrance video with Chris, where you did the collaboration on best fragrance.
Yes, yes.
I think if Chris spoke to you now about his ones, I think they would have changed. Would your fragrances have changed between that video and now? Do you think?
I absolutely would have. I have 3 tobacco fragrances right now, 4 possibly that I can tell you right now, that were not on that list that I have now. That would be on that list.
Really? Yes. The other thing I've noticed, like Becca mentioned, one of the questions was about the presentation. I think I knew immediately before you answered it that question would be important to you, that the presentation is part of it. It is for me as well. I do just love a lovely bottle and the way it looks. It's almost like an ornament to me. It's something that my wife won't let me leave them lying around. I've got my little man cave where I put them all, but I still take pride in how that is. Now, I don't take as much pride as you. I'm looking at your shelf behind you, and that is immaculate. There's only one other person that I've seen that's as immaculate as that, and she's been in the chat. She's gone now, and that's Tara from Affective Files. On the back there on the shelf, you've got levels.
Yes.
Is that just shelf? Is that just sort of things that are stuck? Is that specifically made for that shelf, or?
I had a custom built for the
Really?
for my shelving. In fact,
Wow.
I have all my shelving from. So these shelves did not have these steps, these stairs, whatever you call them. I just had them built about a month ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It took them 6 months to build, and I gave them dimensions of these shelves. Here's the irony. These tiers that I bought cost more than all the shelves in this room combined. Every shelf in this room. So like the tiers, the levels cost more than the shelving in the room. But all the cabinets. So I knew I was going to keep the cabinets. And then I said, well, can you get somebody to build me like 4 levels, so I can have 4 levels and I can see all my fragrances on a level here? Because before they used to hide behind each other, and I'd hide some good ones behind another good one, and like, oh, I got to figure out how to redo this, and I'm still working on more. This room is not finished yet. I have 4 more bookshelves coming in, and I have all their steps already built. They just haven't been. So I have to. This bookshelf has been out of stock because of the pandemic. So I have to order 4 more bookshelves. I'm going to have to assemble them. Then I'm going to insert their stairs. And then I'm going to finally do a new layout for everybody to see. Now, this will still kind of look the same, but this room is, it's getting 4 more shelves. I don't know how, but it is.
Yeah, the presentation of the channel and the way things look is becoming more important to me now as time's gone on. I'm thinking, well, how can I improve production? How can I improve my setup here? We've got the sort of living room behind me and stuff, and we've had it different where we've just had the plain wall behind us and stuff. But I try and find places in the house where it's got a bit of depth behind me now. But I'm on the lookout for shelves, and I'm on the lookout for how I want the channel to look, but I don't want to keep changing it, if that makes sense. So I'm really nervous. I'm really bad at making decisions. I will see something, I think, well, that will look nice, but will I think that in 3 years' time I'll want to change it again?
Yeah.
So I'm finding that tough.
Here's the thing. If I'm fortunate enough that I've converted a bedroom into this room for me. So if you have a dedicated room that's childproof, that's the key.
Yeah,
it's childproof, and that you can dedicate to having your fragrance studio be in there. Then you measure that room out. I'm very fond of IKEA furniture.
Yeah,
you can buy the billies. Those are called the billies, the bookshelves.
Yeah,
they're $50 or probably 50 British pounds. They're $50, and you can then find somebody, if you can, or if you're crafty with wood, you can build your own shelves, like your own tiers, your own steps, and because that's what I'm getting put in here. 4 more billies are going in this room.
Right. So you're just waiting for them to come back into stock.
Yeah, and I think it'll look good. You have a dedicated room dedicated to this, and you can put it all together. And part of the reason why I always film in this room with all this stuff around me is because I want people to see that I'm real, that this is passion. This is my passion. I want people to see that I'm a collector. I love fragrances. There's so much more that you're not seeing right now. Like if I were able to flip the camera around, you'd be able to see all of this. But I've got stuff that's waiting to be posted. I've got stuff waiting to unveil live. I've got stuff that I have no room for anything on any shelf anymore. That's just waiting to get shelved. It's going to be.
Do you get overwhelmed by that, Joe? I see a lot of people flipping fragrances. I haven't done that. I haven't got a big enough collection really yet to do that with. But I feel quite precious about my fragrances, even from the cheaper ones, because they represent the start of my channel. And I'm not sure that I could do it in terms of they're not worth a lot anyway. But even if I step up through that journey, I can't see myself selling those fragrances. And with you having over 1,000, I'm guessing that you don't do that either.
No, I don't. A lot. I don't. I'm not really. No, I'm not really I don't want to get rid of it. Part of me is like I attach a sentimental value to it. The other part of it is some of it may be gifted, and I don't want to sell anything that was gifted to me. I don't want to sell anything that maybe has been given to me for review.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I'm doing justice to the brand if I'm turning around and flipping their bottle for cash.
I agree.
And even though I was never
agree.
paid to do the review ever, 99.9% of the time I'm not paid to do any of this. I've spent way more than I get.
Yeah.
Spent way more on this hobby than I get in return. But for me, the gratification in return, you cannot put a price on it, and that is the relationships, the friendships, the contacts and the connections that I've made with various members of this industry and this community.
Yeah.
That is priceless to me. And I don't care if I don't get paid to do this. I care more that I am connected with the people who love this passion.
Yeah, it's important to me too, especially obviously you got your subscribers and the people you talk to daily, but behind the scenes, it's really important to me to keep a really positive and friendly relationship with people that have approached me as brands, and that is really important in the background, that they trust you, they like you, and they want to work with you. That's really important to me. One of the brands that have done that to you, and they've done it to me recently, and you've tried a bit more from them, I believe, and I just wanted to stay on stream actually to talk about this, was Memoirs
Yes.
with Holly Hutchinson.
Yes.
I noticed we both on a joint email from Holly and the brand, and I'm so super grateful to be on board, because compared to people like yourself and Chris and other people that might be influencing for them, they don't have to talk to me about it at all, and they are doing it. I'm just discovering their range at the moment.
It's fabulous. I was
enjoying them.
That was one of my favorite discoveries of 2019. That brand.
Mm. Was there a couple of fragrances that sort of jumped out at you? Because I love. There's a couple.
Well, there's the dark line, and then there's the light line.
Yeah, and that's what I'm discovering.
And within the light line, there was White Castizia.
Yeah.
Humilitas has been a really good one. I really like that one. There's also Industrias as well.
Industria, yeah.
And that was another good one. There's a bunch. I liked, just like the dark line, I actually liked 6 out of the 8 that they had.
Wow.
So I only have 3 of the white ones out of the 6 that I loved. And then I just got their 2 newest ones that they just came out with, which I'm super excited about those. I smelled those and I'm like, man, I like that. And then Holly has been working on a new project with ILK,
which I've been
yeah. So I was already like, oh man, I'm loving these too. So yeah.
Well, it's great. I love your ethos with how you deal with things. So, look, Joe, it's been amazing having you on. I could chat to you literally all night, and I really could. When you're talking to like-minded people about fragrance, I could just go on and on and on.
It's
people know
easy to lose track of time, absolutely.
It certainly is, and I don't want to keep too much of your Sunday either, and I'm very aware of that. But no, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been great. Have you got anything you'd like to talk about?
Well, I was going to ask you about your car thing. It's kind of an interesting question. So you said you sell cars.
Mm.
Are you a new car dealer or a used car dealer?
New and used car dealer. So I work for Kia as a brand.
Yeah, Kia has their new the Palisade or the.
Yeah, so Kia have really come up as a brand in the last few years. They've got long warranties, very reliable cars. But I've worked for them for 17 years now.
Wow.
So I've been on board from their early days and seen the brand really grow and develop. and they're making some serious things now. And yeah, it's one of those things I found that I fell into, and I've sort of got a little bit stuck, if I'm being honest. It earns when the money's good. It does earn quite good money, and I hate talking about earnings and stuff. I won't talk about that, but it's enabled me to have a reasonable lifestyle compared to what it could have been, what I've come from, and it's sort of the money that you can earn from it is very difficult to get out of it. So it's to get similar money to go and do another job. It is very, very difficult.
Yes,
unless you are trained or have a university degree in a certain area, it would be very difficult to go and earn the kind of money elsewhere. So you do, although I really enjoy the interactions, like this community with the people, and that's why I've stayed as a car salesman as well, rather than try and move up. I earn more doing what I'm doing than I would if I move up through that ladder, if that makes sense.
Sure, no, understood.
I'd have to take big step backwards to move forwards.
Right.
And then I keep trying to simplify it in my head that what do I go to? Do I enjoy my job? Yes. I wouldn't have been there 17 years if I didn't. Do I, what do I go to work for? I go to work to earn money, essentially. And then, well, what else matters apart from job satisfaction? So if you try and simplify it, I'm sort of justifying myself staying in the position that I am rather than trying to. As a young man, I really wanted to move through the career ladder, and as I've got a bit older, I'm 40 now. I'm settled and I'm quite happy with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me, Joe, is the weekends. It's the hours.
But that's when you're making most of your money, because that's when people have time to car shop.
Yeah, yeah. And I realise that it's one of those things where you can't have it every way, but it's a 50. It's more than that. It's 55 to 60 hours a week most weeks, and it's. I sound like I'm moaning, but it's one of those things where if I could take away the weekends, I would be happy.
Yeah.
But that's not possible. I wouldn't earn the money.
So I'll tell you my 3 favorite Kias right now.
Go for it.
The Stinger.
Gorgeous car.
The K900.
Mm-hmm.
And then their big SUV.
The Sorento, which would be
no, it's not the Sorento.
Telluride.
There's a bigger one than the Sorento. You guys don't have the big one?
No, I think is that the Telluride where you are?
The Telluride, correct.
Yes. Yeah, good. It looks like the Sorento. The Sorento is just a bit smaller.
Right.
They just recently made, the Sorrento's just been released here, and that is it's a good looking car.
It is. Yeah,
no, it's a great brand. Do you like cars? Are you into cars?
I'm a car guy, yeah. And Hyundai and Kia are basically the same company.
They are.
But
yeah.
Kia is the more affordable brother of Hyundai, and Genesis is the top of the line when you get into the and that's a brand that I really love.
The way I like to tell people, the Hyundai sister companies, they use all the same platforms and the same running gear, so they're both as reliable as each other.
They have the same warranties.
But they have the same warranties. But over here they don't. They have a 5-year Hyundai warranty, 7-year Kia warranty, so 2 more years for Kia. And they got very different design teams in Europe. They don't share the same look.
Yeah.
So they've got different design teams, and that's what Kia, I think, have done very well. They've appealed to a younger audience than maybe Hyundai have. So where Hyundai are maybe the more premium, slightly more premium, the Kia is the sort of slightly younger, edgier, if that makes sense. That's the way I see it.
I mean, hence the Stinger. I mean, gosh, the Stinger was definitely made to appeal to those who are looking at like the Audi, the Sportback, the 7 Series, out from Audi. Do
you mind me asking what car you drive right now? I'm not going to try and sell you one, don't worry.
I'm on a Model 3 Tesla.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. Yes, I have seen that. Sorry, I apologise, Joe. Yeah. How are you getting on? You enjoying it?
Loving it. I mean, no gas. So.
Well, let's talk electric motoring for a moment then. Kia have really got into electric motoring recently. And some of the uneducated questions I get are quite frustrating, very frustrating, I might add. And I've got an answer for a lot of them. And you probably find this yourself. You sort of justify why you've got an electric vehicle.
Sure.
So one of the things people will say to you is, but you have to stop and charge it all the time. How do you deal with that?
You have to stop and get gas all the time.
Exactly.
How do you deal with that? But I think the main concern is, are there enough charging stations out there to satisfy your route that you're going? But the way these cars are built, especially electric cars, they're built in a way so that when you're taking a long road trip, they will only send you down the path in which there are chargers in your path.
Yeah.
And they won't let you run out of juice unless you're an idiot and you really want to push your car to the limits.
That's what a lot of people ask. And what happens if you run out of electric? And my question back to them, I don't even answer the question, I go straight back. What happens if you run out of gas?
Somebody with a gas
answer
engine
is
come and refill you. Unless
you're an idiot, you won't.
Yeah.
So guess what? You won't run out of electric because you won't allow yourself to do that. It's a very different. And the other thing as well is range. A lot of people talk about range. Now our cars aren't quite as high range as Tesla. We're nearly to 300 now, 300 miles that is, not kilometers, and that's a good enough range. Now I always say to people, so how long do you think you would drive your car in miles before you need to stop and physically use the toilet or get refreshments or get more gas? Or the car will take you as far as you need to go before you need to then stop. And then guess what? When you stop, you put it on charge. So you just have to plan things a little bit more.
And that's the way I think. I think of like, hey, look, since we have to stop for 45 minutes, this is where we eat, this is where we pee, this is where we get out and stretch our legs and walk around, and like it's kind of like the car's giving you that opportunity to do that. Now, I'm also of the mindset, when I had a gas engine, I was also on the mindset of like, I'm a marathon driver. I like to only stop if I have to get gas. And then while we're there, we're doing it all real quick while it's gassing up, and then we're gone. So like, I'm not the kind of person that likes to stop for that long, but now I'm enjoying stopping for that long because it really helps break up your trip a little more. And believe it or not, these trips that took me 11 hours still take 11 hours, or 11 and a half hours now, but I don't feel like it's taking that long. Like, I feel like I'm got a break. So like, I feel like I'm doing it in chunks, like 3-hour chunks, or 4-hour chunks. So.
And with the Tesla, you got equipment in there to make it a nicer place to be on those drives as well.
Of course.
Which you wouldn't have in a lot of other cars. So
I'm
a fan. And you know what? It's one of those. It's one of the brands now that I've got a 19-year-old boy, I've got a 15-year-old boy, and I've got an 8-year-old girl. And it is the brand that they all aspire to owning one day. They don't care about the car. They want the tech. They want the big iPad in the car.
I know.
That's what they want. They want the technology.
It never gets old. Anytime I park the car, or I even like get into the car, they're like, "Oh my God, I love your car." I get it all the time. Like, people stare at it because they're like, they like wish they had it, but like, it's not that expensive. Come on, it's like starts at 40 grand. Like, that's the price of a good Kia.
Yeah, that's the Model 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely grabbed hold, isn't it? Electric motor, and it's not going backwards. I imagine it like you've gone into a grinder, and it's moving around now, and it's not coming back.
Yeah, I have a hard time going back to a gas engine. However, my wife is probably going to get the car that she has now is half electric, half gas. But the car that she's probably going to get in the future is going to be a gas one, because she's not fond of the electric ones still. Yeah. So
it's not for everybody. You're not going to persuade everybody to have one. It's just really the uneducated questions that really drive me mad as a salesman. But But right, Joe, we're going to call it a night. Thank you.
That's
so
cool.
much.
Yeah. Sorry, we could talk all day about this, but anyway, thank you for having me on your show, and we'll see. We'll get you on one of mine. Who knows, one day. So
excellent. Right, we'll stay talking. Thank you, Joe. I'll catch up with you back on the Instagram. So easiest way to communicate.
Sounds good.
Really appreciate you coming on, and I'll catch up with you again real soon.
Alrighty, take care.
Excellent. Take care of yourself, Joe.
All right.
Bye bye. Thanks. Bye. So there we go, everybody. So that was Joe. So lovely guys. You can tell very down to earth, easygoing. Really sort of jovial character, which I really love. Really friendly and easy to get on with. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that were in the stream and that popped in and said hello. It really does mean a lot. So thank you for doing that. I really mean it. I'm going to go and wish my daughter good night before she goes off to sleep and enjoy what's left of my Sunday before we go back to Monday again. I'm not sure what we've got planned next week. I'm working again. There may be another live. I'll see what I can set up. But I will talk to you all again very soon. But really appreciate you popping in, and thank you so much for staying here for the little bit of a marathon stream. But thank you, appreciate it. I will see you all again very soon, and we'll catch up. Don't forget to keep smelling wonderful. Still cheesy. Take care, everyone. Bye.